in Nairobi, CBD, Thika Road. There were watch parties here, a lot of watch parties here in Nairobi. And as I said earlier, watu wengi sana, they were imagining what if Baba was here. There's this one thing. What do you think Arsenal did so special this season that iliwafanya washinde? Because Arsenal performance, manze, imekuwa, okay, let me just say this, imekuwa top notch. Arsenal have been good. Even if you listen to their fans, what they were saying, jana from Tao, the whole of Thika Road, they were like, ilikuwa yetu, tulijua ilikuwa yetu na mapema. Walikuwa wanasema it was the years na mapema. So before we come to what fans here in the CB, here in Nairobi had to say, Ebu, unaona nini Arsenal did different this season, or what Mikel Arteta did different this season?
What Arsenal did different this season was finding a way to win. Because as I said before, when you started off, champions will always find a way of winning. If you can remember, around 2 or 3 seasons ago, Arsenal fans or Arsenal players used to lose that momentum towards the end of the season. But then, if you look at this season, you could see that clear mentality, even from the likes of Leandro Trossard, just pushing till the end. The other thing that Arsenal did was they did some very good business in the transfer window. I look at the signings they made in the off-season transfer window and say these are quality signings that elevated the team. Piero Hincapie has been very, very solid as a left centre-back as well as a left-back. Victor Gyökeres. Sometimes I do feel Arsenal looked like a complete team with the Havertz as the playmaker, but it reaches a point that you need a natural goal scorer to put the balls in the back of the net. The other player, Eberechi Eze, we all know Eze's quality from Crystal Palace, from the England national team. And you can see even at times when Martin Odegaard, their captain, was not at his best, Eberechi Eze stepped up, and in that creative role, he was very, very instrumental. So this season, I think they considered around only 26 goals. That will be very good for a title winning side. But the most important part is when it mattered the most, they showed up. Yeah.
Charles, what do you think walifanya different this season? Because for the past, they were number 2 for a very long time.
This season,
yeah. So what do you think made them be different this season?
Consistency in that pushing. Yeah, because ukisema, if you have said they have finished 3rd in 3 consecutive seasons, that means this team, ukiangalia chances of winning a trophy, it's higher than any other team. Because in these 3 years, 2 different winners have been there, which is Liverpool and Man City. So for them finishing second position in 3 consecutive seasons, it's one of the best for them. And another thing, they lose as an end of an era in football. For me, it was an end of an era of Pep Guardiola. Things were not working out. From Champions League, from Premier League, they lose some games which are necessary. So it was an end of an era of Pep Guardiola. And if you look at it very well, who have been pushing Pep Guardiola to the wire, it's Arteta. So for me, if you ask me, players also believed, and there are some players in that team who have at least have the winning mentality. And I told some days back when he had a show, I told one of my colleagues here that a player like Rice really pushed that team. If you look at the time they lost against Bournemouth, it's only Rice who was showing that, guys, it's not yet over. But other players' body language showing that, majama, hii ni kaina tutoka. And then another advantage that Arsenal had, and I told people, Arsenal had advantage that Man City were playing 2 games at hand. It's so dangerous to play 2 games in hand when your competitor has won his or her last 2 matches. So you are going in that game having 2 games in hand, but they are not points. And that's, if you look very well, Man City played 3 games in 7 days. That was very tough. They played a league against the game and played the FA, and then they played again a league match. It was very dangerous for the team. It was very hard for that team to catch up. Yet this team is going with that mind that, guys, and then when they played the semi-final of Champions League, now they were going to relax. Nothing was bothering them. Because when they lost a game against Bournemouth, they had a Champions League match. But when they played the semi-final and qualified to the final, now they had a time too. And that's why they found their way.
Well, before we listen to what Nairobi fans had to say about this, I'll just ask,